Hello, I'm Dan.
And I'm Can.
And this is a Candid Conversation. Candy.
What?
I've been working on it and I finally manifested sight. That's how it works, right? I can see. I can't see. My manifestation skills aren't
some
working.
People probably think that it does work that way.
Well, it's kind of how we were taught. And when I left Catholicism, in Catholicism, I had no idea what manifestation was. This idea that was, and then I jumped in with you in evangelicalism, which was the prosperity, name it and claim it, which was your words are powerful and whatever you say is just like God's words brought forth the earth, your words will bring forth whatever they say. So when you played a video game and you said, oh man, I died. No, don't say that. You're professing that over yourself and you're going to die, which, okay, I will someday, but stuff like that. And that's what manifestation became for me in the Christian sense, this magic spell, this, you say it.
Well, and now
if you have the
obviously
faith, you'll have it.
Yeah,
if you have the
and it's
faith
popular
of a mustard
now.
seed, you'll move a mountain.
It's become popular in common circles now. I mean, it's like a buzzword. Everybody knows the word manifestation, right?
Yeah.
We didn't call it that. It was called, your words are powerful is what we say. We call it the word of faith.
Yeah.
Or name it and claim it was a derogatory term used for people who thought like that, right?
And it was directly tied into your faith. If you had enough, it was a proof of your faith. If you had enough faith, you could produce anything in your world. Because God was, he's got a lot of faith. So he wants that car. Boom, there's a car. He wants $1 million. Boom, there's $1 million. And these preachers going around being like, see how great our faith is? I have this giant mansion. I have 3 airplanes.
Stuff,
I have
when they're taking
10 cars.
advantage of poorer people. Yeah.
Look at this watch. It's a $10,000 watch. I manifested that. God gave it to me because of my faith, through someone else. So
now, true. And when I first started to hear about manifestation, in deconstruction, hearing that term and understanding what people are meaning by it or what I thought people meant by it, it was triggering a little bit because I remember how the word of faith or name it and claim it or the prosperity gospel is another term. I remember how triggering and difficult that life was because my dad was always like, you can't say you have a headache. You can't say, I couldn't say, I swear that I remember in a song, there was the word I swear. I couldn't sing that song.
If you had a headache, you had to say you were healed.
Yeah. Or you just basically didn't tell anybody you had a headache. So it caused a lot of problems. Right. And if you said it, so sometimes a kid might want to tell their parents they have a headache so that their parents can help them, right? Maybe something's wrong. Maybe they just need some medicine. Maybe they need to rest. Maybe they're hungry. All these things, right? And if you can't speak, so it's the ultimate, censorship, which we will talk about in a future episode. But it really was. That's where censorship started for me, right?
Yeah, because you had to conscientiously always think about the words you were saying.
Yes. And it wasn't about anything other than the words that came out of your mouth, right? The literal words that came out of your mouth were going to produce something. And they would use verses to back that up.
You and your sister's favorite phrases to say was, I rebuke that in Jesus' name.
That was something we learned later. My dad didn't particularly like it because then we could actually, that gave us a little more license to be a little freer with our language. Because if someone said, you also had to be concerned what other people said about you. Like if someone said to you, like, you look tired, well, then you're going to forever look tired. It's just weird things like that, right? And we could say, I rebuke that in Jesus' name. And it would at least, it felt like a curse. It felt like people could curse you with their words. And so that gave us a little comfort, like, oh, I can block it with this spell, I mean, it's really kind of what it was.
Yeah.
So then I get into I'm deconstructing, and this is probably around 2020 when the word manifestation comes to my ears, and I'm like, okay, what is this? And at first it rubs me really the wrong way. I'm like, how is this any different than word of faith or prosperity gospel? It's the same stuff. And then I started to learn, okay, it's not necessarily the same thing. It's really the emotions behind the words that are creating something. And then this week I had another epiphany about it, and it had to do with us looking for a new car.
Okay.
Which we were talking about.
So before we get into what we think it actually is, let's go to the other side of the spectrum of the secular world and their idea. Because the religious world, the prosperity gospel and the name and claim it and all that kind of have their own rendition of manifestation. It's faith-based. It's God wants to provide everything for you, so you just have to give us your seed of faith and watch it return to you sevenfold. And then you get the things.
Yeah, as they get richer and richer, and the people that give
$1,000 doesn't mean I'm going to return. The God's going to return money back to you. He's going to return blessings in other sources that are worth $7,000 for your $1,000.
Exactly. Might be with stuff that you can't sell and get the $7,000 that you need.
So that was the religious world's idea of it. And then the secular world goes to a complete, it's a woo-woo thing. Where
it's nothing.
Yeah, you can go and just manifest anything in your life. You can make a car appear. You can make, a house appear or whatever. You can make yourself rich. And, you've in a bad situation, you can manifest yourself out of it. So how does that make the people in Gaza feel?
Yeah, and that's exactly the pushback to that, which is rightfully, the pushback is, what about people or children who are in like abusive homes and stuff? Like they manifested this themselves, and that is not at all what should be taught, but it is so that's why it gets dismissed, right? This idea that you have any power over your life or your future is dismissed as woo. Yeah. In a sense, right? Or at least that word, because it's a catchword right now.
The way they see this manifestation is.
The way they, the way it's kind of taught is like that, because I was kind of like struggling with it too. Like it does make it's like magical thinking, or like you're just thinking of it and it will come about. But there is some science to this that actually gives it some weight. Like could be something.
Now let's get into your sympathy of an epiphany.
Okay. So something I'm studying pretty in depth for my hypnotherapy practice is just polyvagal theory, which you don't need to know all that. All you need to know is about the nervous system, right? And the nervous system, there's a part of the nervous system that has evolved in mammals, and we are mammals, right? Only mammals have this. No other creatures have it. And this is a certain part of the nervous system.
So let's do it like they do it
on the Discovery
and
that's like animals.
Channel.
It doesn't say mammals. Okay,
it says you and me, baby, are nothing but mammals. Oh, okay. So let's do it like they do it on the Discovery Channel.
Oh, okay.
It's an old song.
I know. I think I've heard pieces of it. I've never listened to the actual song.
You've heard it. Anyways.
Yeah, you probably played it in your car when we were dating. It was like,
No, we were married. I was like, mammal? And you're like, we're not mammals. We're human beings created in God's image. We're nothing like the other mammals. We're special.
Shut up. Anyways, so this part of your nervous system is connected to your facial expressions. It's connected to like your
polyvagal nervous system, to refresh people.
No, well, polyvagal is the theory that the nervous system has this, like these three parts, basically. And the ventral is the most recently evolved section. That part, that does clear it up. That ventral part is connected to the muscles in your face, and it's connected to your heart and your airways, like, so your lungs and all of that is all connected, right? And the vagal nerve runs all the way from your brain stem all the way down into your gut. So it's like a really long nerve and it's just super important. And when you're in ventral, it is that top part of your nervous system, that most evolved space is where you're feeling connected, you're feeling calm, you're feeling creative. That's where you're open to possibilities and opportunities. That is the part where I would say in manifestation, they want you to like good vibes only. They'll say, getting yourself into that state is important, not because you want to not feel the other things. You have to be able to go into the other parts of your nervous system, fight, flight, or shut down. That's a flexible nervous system. You don't want a rigid nervous system that just stays in one area. You want one that can flex all the way down and come all the way back. But you want your baseline to be ventral, because when you're in ventral, that's when you can come up with ideas. You're open to opportunities. You see possibilities that you didn't see before, right? So this is where manifestation, when they're using that term, why being in a certain vibration or certain frequency, because you are in a certain frequency, a certain vibration at the time, you're very calm. The nervous system, which does deal with frequencies and vibration, it does pick up on energies. Let's just say that. Mm-hmm. It's a calm one. It's a grounded one where you're open, you're feeling safe, right? So you're open to exploring and learning and all of that. Well, when you're in those vibes, then you're going to see opportunities that you didn't see before. So how this applies to something that happened to us this week is we've been looking for a new car for a while, and I thought I wanted a certain type of car, and that's really all I was looking at. But I've been really paying attention to my vibration and my energy. And when it goes low, I notice it and I sit with that. And I ask myself, what's going on? Mm-hmm. Is it something I'm looking at? Is it something, so I picked up on, social media is triggering some of this political mumbo jumbo stuff is triggering me to plummet me. And I want to know what's going on, but I don't need to hear all the opinions. I don't need the charged. I heard this on Mel Robbins' podcast. A guy said charged like posts. He might have used a different word, but it's charged. And she's like, what does that mean? And he's like an emotional charge. It wants to get an emotional charge. These are the opinion ones, right? The posts where they're like, everything's terrible. It's going to be worse and worse. And it's going to get worse and worse. And it's your fault, blah, blah, blah. But I can handle like straight facts because there's no emotional charge. These are what's happening. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a fact. The emotional charges. Now this is what's going to happen. I'm pretty much sure this is what's going to happen. It's going to be devastating, right? So I noticed, okay, I'm going to try to be more mindful of what I'm allowing into my brain, what I'm listening to and looking at, and all the things that I tell my clients to do. I'm practicing myself. And so I was getting myself and we were going through a lot of family stuff at the same time as we're looking for this car. And we've been looking for over a year. And a lot of family drama, extended family drama.
To say the least, yeah.
Yes, and some of it devastating to me. And learning how to just be able to sit with that and hold space for those feelings at the same time of getting into that ventral part of my nervous system where I feel safe enough to express it, to, work through those things, blah, blah, blah. So then a family member sends me, that was kind of helping me look for a car, sends us one that I was not looking at, and I really wouldn't have been interested. I would not have even been open to it. But because I was in that ventral state most of the time, I was like, okay, maybe let's, maybe look at it. And so then we looked at it and it ended up being a very good deal. We got way cheaper than we were planning. Brand new car. Does it have some things that... It does have a little bit of hail damage. Yeah, it does. But does that matter to me? Absolutely not. It's not really bad. Some people would probably say it is, but it doesn't. It's just it's got some things that maybe I would prefer were not there, but they're outweighed by the other things, right? Mm-hmm. But then we got a better rate from our bank, and they even dropped off more of the price when we went to pay for it. And so it's just all around, we manifested. I was thinking of that color of car. That's what I didn't know. I didn't have any exact things on it, but I did have a color in mind. And poof, it just happened very quickly. And had I not been paying attention to my vibration, so I think more than the word manifestation, we move into the understanding that your vibration does have an effect. And it has an effect not just because it's magic, because it's not magic. it has an effect because now you're open to the opportunities. You can see them around you. Otherwise, I would not have entertained it. I wouldn't have seen it, probably. You see what I'm saying? So that's where, like, people say name it and claim it. It's not the words necessarily that you're saying, but do speak good words, just because it gives you a certain vibration. If you're saying if you're walking around talking to yourself negatively all day, you're going to feel a certain way. And when you feel a certain way, you kind of get into your nervous system. Your nervous system reacts to the words and the thoughts. There is a connection there. So your thoughts actually affect the organs in your body, and the organs in your body affect your thoughts. So it kind of goes, the nervous system kind of goes back and forth. So, so it's all connected. So that's why paying attention to that and knowing how you feel makes a big difference. That's where manifestation or vibration comes in. And it's actually scientific that when you are in that state of your nervous system, you are more open. You can find solutions to your problems because you're not stuck on the problem. Because when you're stuck on the problem, you're like, it's devastating. We'll never get out of this. This is hopeless. Okay. You're in fight, flight, or you're in shutdown. You're not even open because your mind starts to shut down the prefrontal cortex. It shuts down a lot of it to work on survival. You're not thriving. You're not in thrive mode. You're in survival mode. And so you cannot see all the things around you, the possibilities. So like even someone in Gaza, if they could get themselves into that ventral state, it's very difficult in the situations they're in to get into that, because most of them are going to be in dorsal or fight flight and probably fluctuating between the two because it's such a traumatic happening. But if you could, that's where you're going to actually go, oh, okay, here's some opportunities for us to get out of this. You might hear more options, just stuff like that. So there is some science to it, but the woo-woo part is what causes people to not even consider.
So to put a picture to it, you think about a traumatic situation. Maybe you're in a building and it's on fire. Who do you always talk about as the person that saves everyone? It's the person that's calm and regulated, able to function and go. The people that are panicking and going all over the place, they're not coming up with solutions. They're running for doors. They're jumping over seats. They're throwing shit around up and down the aisles. They're not the ones that are going to lead everyone out. It's the person that's able to, okay, all right, here's our plan. We need to go and find this. Okay, you call. And that's why I remember taking CPR classes. We have to get registered every so years for it.
I think you're going to go where I was going to say,
They always tell you, before you start, calm yourself, collect yourself.
And you calm yourself by connecting to your breath. Long exhales.
And then tell one person, because someone's on the ground and they're not breathing. People are panicking. So you get someone and you point at them.
They're kind of in a state of hypnosis. They're shocked.
Yeah. So you have to be the one that's calm. And you tell them, go call 911. And then they're in shock and hypnosis. So they're taking that suggestion. And
they will do that suggestion. They will go and do it. Yes.
And then they run off and do it. And then you start working on the individual that's.
Yeah, you don't say.
There.
Though I just heard that the other day too. You do not say someone call 911. They have had things like that where then nobody called 911. You have to directly say, you in the blue shirt, you call 911, you over here, you do this while you're doing your chest compressions or whatever. Because they will not, because they are in a state of shock, they need somebody who's clear-headed enough to kind of say, do this, do that, you know, and you can be that person in that situation if you practice it when you're not in a trauma situation. Practice getting yourself in that ventral state. Practice, and you can do this by humming, singing, doing things you enjoy, like, whatever your hobbies are, spending time in that and breathing. The simplest thing is just breath, connecting to your breath. So doing like a 4, 6, 8 breath, breathing in for 4, holding it for 6, and exhaling for 8. Do that a few times and you will start to tell your nervous system, I'm safe, because when you're in fight flight, you do not breathe like that at all. Now in shutdown, you'd breathe slow, but shutdown is when your body like shuts itself off. That's when people are in deep depression. But I think a lot of people are kind of pushed into shutdown right now. And how you get out of shutdown, you have to go into fight flight. So you don't have to go in the harmful, like I have to be traumatized. No, start moving your body, because fight flight is when you're in movement. So
and I think
move
just
your body around.
Kind of conclude this and correlate it with our times right now, there are powers that be that are influencing us and trying to influence us every day to put us into fight flight.
Absolutely.
Every day.
Or shutdown. They would prefer either, shutdown is even more preferable to them.
Anybody listening can say these last 9 months seem like just absolute chaos and constant push towards even more chaotic situations.
They know what they're doing. Yeah.
So when they get you in that fight flight, you're not able to manifest anything for yourself. You're busy.
You're not able to think of solutions.
Yeah.
Yes. And us as a collective, if we're all in it, we're not going to get ourselves out of it until we get our nervous system in the appropriate state so that we can actually come up with solutions to the problems. Yeah.
So when you can sit there and just realize, okay, and work yourself through it and get yourself into the state of, all right, I see what's going on here. They're trying to force me into this. Let me calm myself, get into this thing, and now I can start manifesting actual change in society because you're in a calm state where you can work it. You're not going to find that new car if you're worked up and worried and constantly fretting and in survival mode about things, because you're not concentrating on that. And manifestation is just focusing, and we're going to talk about this in the episode that comes out next Wednesday. It's that laser focus of, and what happened this last week was you were sending me images of cars, and I was like, okay, yeah, all right. Just kind of looking at it. It's like, it's not singing to me. It's not clicking. It's a nice car, but it's not clicking. Then you send me this one. I'm like, okay, something clicked. And all of a sudden, both of our focus was, and next thing you know, we were setting up appointments to look at it and drive it. Bank was pre-approving us on stuff. We were figuring out what we had to do. And within hours, all of a sudden, we had a car in our possession. And even though you didn't want to believe that was happening until you actually were driving away with it.
Yeah, I had to wait until it was actually literally, I was like, I don't want to get my hopes up because, But it also, another thing I forgot to mention is even with the hail damage, it had a clean title, which was important to us. I had to have a clean title, and just all these things that lined up perfectly and getting the things we wanted. There were certain things you wanted in the car. There were certain things I wanted in the car. We got all those things. And it was just, we manifested that. And I want that car to be a symbol of that for me, to remind me of how we did it.
It's your new white horse.
Yeah, it's my new white horse. And if you don't know what the white horse is, I'm sure we've talked about it on the podcast.
You'll have to go listen to previous episodes. So.
Yeah. So, but it's just a new anchor for me to I learned something new about how manifestation works by tying it to the stuff I was actually, educating myself on. And then I saw it happen in life. And so I will take that forward by keeping mindful of what my nervous system state is. Do not make big decisions when you are in fight flight, unless you have to, right? Those are the ones where you got to run. I mean, if you're going to get hit by a car, run or whatever, get out of the way.
The decisions you want to be making in there is survival decisions.
Exactly. Survival decisions that take seconds or minutes at the most. You don't want to be in what's happening with our political system right now is they've got us in fight flight chronically.
You don't want to be proposing to your partner. You don't want to be buying houses. You don't want to be doing if you're in fight flight because you're not thinking through it.
Almost, I'm wondering if those in power that are corrupt, that are in power, I'm not saying everyone is, but those who are that are in power, I know that they know this. I know that they know that a people that are confused and a people that are in fight flight, they're in a certain state. They're so easy to control. They are very easy to just manipulate because they think the world is just terrible, right? And so you can persuade them either way. And
they want you to perceive that the world's terrible. It's not as terrible as they say. Are there bad things going on right now? Yes. But they want to take that and turn that up to a 10.
Exactly. But you can also look at it as this upheaval is because there's a lot of change happening. We are transitioning into a better world.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of garbage that has to be like taken out.
Yeah.
So we got to see what the garbage is, so that you could look at it from that, or you could be like, this is so devastating. It's not like it was. And so it just seems worse to me. And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse, which is what kind of I was taught in evangelical Christianity. Obviously, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Right. So almost an encouragement of that kind of nervous system state.
Yeah.
But the hope was, oh, Jesus is going to come rescue us. So no one's coming to rescue us. We've got to rescue ourselves. And nervous system work is part of the revolution. I would say it's the core. It's the first thing you do is get your nervous system regulated. And you can come to me for hypnotherapy because I know how to help people with this. But you get your nervous system regulated.
In the description below.
In the description, yes. Then you can make the efforts to start to heal this collective stuff. We can put our minds together and we can come up with unimaginable things at this point in ways to fix this and ways to help us and ways to move forward that are healthy and better, like a better government, a better society where there's equality and love and kindness and all those things ruling. That's possible, but we have to first get ourselves regulated.
Yep. So, yeah. So it's not really woo, it's scientific, but it's about understanding your body, your mind, and understanding that they work together. And unlike what we were taught in Christianity, that are at war with each other, body and mind.
Body and mind are not.
Need to
They're
work
one,
in symbiosis
connected.
with each other. So,
yeah.
Oh, Candy's got an alarm to look for a new car. She hasn't erased it yet.
For a car.
So yeah, take that for what it's worth and put that in your pipes and smoke it.
Okay, that's enough. Don't be rude to people.
I know, I'm a rude guy. So if you're listening on a podcast streamer, give us 5 stars. We'd appreciate it greatly. It helps us out, and we just love hearing from you. So leave a comment if you have time. If you have a minute or two, say something to us and we'll respond.
Share
Definitely.
the post too. Like if someone is talking about manifestation and they're pushing it, and they're confused about what it is, share this podcast with them.
Yep.
We'd love that.
So yeah, if you're on there, do that for us, 5 stars, and send us comments. We'd appreciate that, and share. If you're listening on the tube of you, otherwise known as YouTube, go and like, subscribe, and follow, and all that good stuff. And leave us comments there too. We love seeing that. And if you want anything else from us, go look in the description below. There's a bunch of links and whatnot. You can get onto our website, danandcan.com. You can get into a lot of Candy's personal things, or Substack and blogs and all that stuff. So all the links are listed below. So click on them, and that'll take you right to there and get you in there. And manifest everything you want in your world.
It's all about a better world for all of us.
Yeah, it's all about focusing your energies and getting in the right mindset and the right vibrations. And
it can work for stuff like it worked for a car, but it can also work for better relationships, healthier body, healthier mind, healthier world. That's what that ultimately is what we should be aiming for. But you can use it for anything.
All right.
All right.
Anyways. Love ya. Bye.
Love you. Bye.